The afternoon sun spilled across the garden in gentle golden beams. Bees hummed lazily among the tulips, and a light breeze carried the scent of lilacs through the air. At the little round table under the maple tree, a girl no older than 7 sat in a pink dress with lace trimming, her hair tied neatly with a ribbon. Before her, 4 porcelain dolls occupied their seats, each dressed in frilly gowns, faces painted with perfect frozen smiles. The girl adjusted their positions, fussing with a bonnet here and smoothing a skirt there, humming a tune only she seemed to know. "It's time for tea, everyone," she said sweetly, pouring invisible liquid from a plastic teapot into dainty cups. The dolls, silent as ever, waited patiently. She giggled, pretending to sip her own cup, then leaned close to one doll in particular. "You mustn't be shy, Miss Clara. Drink up, or we'll think you're being rude." From somewhere distant, a bird chirped merrily. Everything felt still, almost enchanted. The girl's cheeks flushed with joy as she pretended to pass sugar cubes and biscuits, tilting her head to listen to her doll's responses. "Oh, Mr. Henry, you always have the silliest stories," she replied to another, clasping her hands together. "And Miss Clara, you do look so lovely today. Everyone agrees, don't you?" She clapped twice, delighted, and the dolls seemed to approve. The world was perfect. The world always was perfect. A harsh drip echoed in the darkness. Not sunlight, not flowers, not porcelain. A single hanging bulb flickered above the table, casting weak light across concrete walls. There were no dolls. There never had been. Chairs lined the table, yes, but they were not occupied by painted faces. The first figure, once called Mr. Henry, slumped forward, wrists bound to the armrests with leather straps. His head lolled at an unnatural angle, neck broken, lips purpled. Across from him sat Miss Clara, trembling violently, blood matting her hair where chunks of scalp had been torn away. A jagged scream tried to claw its way from her throat, but the gag stuffed between her teeth turned it into a strangled whimper. 2 others remained, one already gone cold, the other barely breathing, chest rattling with every desperate attempt to cling to life. Their skin was punctured with holes, like ragged doll joints, crudely taken apart and put back together. And at the head of the table sat not a little girl, but a grown woman. Her ribboned hair was streaked with sweat, her pink dress stained brown and red. She swayed in her chair, humming the same childish tune, clapping her hands softly. "Everyone agrees, don't you?" she whispered again, her voice high, playful, laced with madness. The bulb above buzzed. One of the captives managed a muffled, desperate cry. The woman tilted her head at him, eyes widening with childlike disappointment. "Oh, Mr. Henry," she said, pouting, "you always make such a fuss. You'll spoil the tea." She stood, picked up a rusted knife from the tray beside her, and pressed the blade against the captive's trembling cheek. "Be a good doll. Smile for me." When she carved, the scream that tore from behind the gag echoed off the stone walls like laughter in her mind. And so the tea party continued, forever perfect,